Hello YouTube, Jackson here. Welcome back to the Daily Endeavours for the 13th of April. Got a 15 seal set. As always, I'll have timestamps and chapters in the description if you want to just like skip through to one you're looking for, like if you're struggling with one, for example. Pretty easy set, just a couple of things that might derail some of these ones here, but yeah, crafting with blacksmithing, killing people, recharging weapon enchantments, killing citizens of Tamriel, I should add. I'll explain how that works when I get to it. Repairing in Cyrodiil and completing stages in the Infinite Archive with a partner, which also includes companions. So these two here are pretty chill. This one here is not too bad. This one's the worst option, I think, but still not terrible. So yeah, pretty good set. It baffles me that, like, it's one of those days where I look at this and go, yeah, these two are both worth the same amount of fucking seals. Like, one weapon enchantment, I would assume everybody's got a soul gem that you can just recharge one of your weapons, versus killing 7 people. Like, that's utterly ridiculous to me that these are both at the same league as far as like seals go. I know you complete 3, but like, just crazy. Like, how do you compare? Like, it's just days like this where it's like, how the fuck do you compare these two? It's just insane. Anyway, so one weapon enchantment, all you got to do is go to your inventory, go to one of your weapons that needs to be recharged. You can either right click and go charge, or there's a hotkey at the bottom right there. You can see it's the F key on PC. It'll be a bit different on console, but the idea is the same. You'll be able to like scroll through a menu and get to the weapons. I think they're at the bottom of the menu for inventory. Yeah, you just go charge, use a soul gem. If you need a soul gem, I would suspect most people have tons of them in their inventory, but you can go to any delve, any dolmen, any world boss, any dungeon, any public dungeon, any group dungeon, pretty much any boss that you kill in these places is going to drop a soul gem. You can get them from chests, you can buy them, you can buy unfilled ones and fill them up when you do other stuff. Like, if you kill people, you could soul trap them if you're out with a bounty and do it that way, all sorts of stuff. But I assume most people at least have a soul gem in their inventory ready to go. Alright, so crafting of blacksmithing. So just keep in mind, this is one of the things in the golden pursuits right at the bottom. Crafting with blacksmithing, it's here. So the most straightforward way, there's no like side tracks to this. You just go to the blacksmithing crafting menu. Daggers, these are the cheapest, 2 iron ingots and star material each. So you just need 4 star materials, 8 iron ingots. It's very cheap to make. Anything else just costs more. But yeah, you just go whatever you want. The only other thing to talk about there is writs. So if you have access to blacksmithing writs, for example, these here can, with blacksmithing writs, you have to craft 3 blacksmithing items. So if you want, you can do 2 crafting writs, like blacksmithing writs, if you have 2 characters that can do these. And that way, what you can do as well for the Golden Pursuit, if you haven't done it yet, is it will count as quests, it will count as daily quests. You'll get the gift boxes from doing each writ as well, so you can just get a bunch of stuff, and crafting with any skill counts, crafting with blacksmithing accounts, so you get tons of stuff through the Golden Pursuit if you do your writs. And writs are good because you have a chance of getting tempering alloy and surveys and, you know, other stuff that's really helpful. So writs are good to do if you can do them, but if you just want to keep it simple, I would say just craft 4 iron daggers. Iron ingots you can get pretty easily, like, just on your character. You might find some iron ore out in the wild. If not, you can get them from guild stores, usually stocked pretty frequently. And as far as star materials go, just find a blacksmith. They will usually be around the crafting stations that you're going to use. They sell all of the base, like, racial style materials that you can use, and they sell an infinite source of 15 gold. So, you know, what is it, 60 gold for 4? That's, yeah. If you can spend, like, you know, 100, 200 gold on like a 15 seal endeavor to do it very quickly, I think it's well worth it. So yeah, that's one way to do it. So just go crafting, iron dagger, go 4, and just do it that way. I think that's the easiest and quickest way to do it. And then if you want, you can just deconstruct it as well and just get all the materials back, because that way you're recycling a little bit. Obviously, if you've got the passives to get more ingredients from stuff, that's helpful too, but it's not super important. You're not spending a lot on those resources, really. Alright, so next up we've got repairing in Cyrodiil. 7,500 damage to structures. That is like a really minuscule amount. This will take you only a few seconds. So what you need first is Mangeth. Any siege merchant in the game, these are all found in these gates. You can also find one in every keep that you go to, which you'll need to do in order to get this done. So you can find them all over the place. They all sell Cyrodiil repair kits for 90 gold each, and you can buy an infinite source. All you're going to need is just 2 of these things. So 180 gold, again, another endeavor where you just spend like a little bit of gold to do it very quickly. So well worth it, I think, if you can find a keep. The only issue here is, like, majority of the time you're going to spend doing this one is finding a keep that needs to be repaired. So best thing to do is go towards the front line, because I find those are the places that have sections that need to be repaired. Here we go. Perfect. So any of these walls that have these like crane tools on them, I'll go up and have a better look. Don't know why the music's on. It's a bit weird. So these crane tools, they indicate a wall that needs to be repaired, right? So this wall here, it's at 93%. That will get you everything you need, right? So you just put the repair kit on your quick spot bar. As you can see, one repair kit heals like 5,000. So you only need 2. And like, yeah, it's like 4% of the wall that need to be repaired there. So all you need to do is just, if you see that, you're good to go. So there's lots of walls that you can repair around a keep. You can repair the doors of outposts and the post stone walls on the sides as well. But I mean, outposts here too. I'm not sure about towns. I don't know if they can be repaired. Because the towns have like open capture points that you take. Yeah, keeps and outposts, you'll be able to do this. So yeah, just look for anything with the health bar, basically. So the inner post stone walls here can also be repaired. These will have the same thing. They'll have like some crane tools out here to indicate that they need to be repaired. But if you're on the inside, the best thing to do is when you actually get inside the keep, just come out, look here, and check the health bar. If it's actually damaged, then come up and heal them, or come up and repair them. Also worth checking. The last thing that will probably need to be repaired on a keep is going to be these things here, the corners. So on this part, this here, and this here, there will also be sections here that you can repair. So always look at those areas as well. Some of them won't have them. I think you need to upgrade the keep. I think if you own all the resources, these things will extend. If not, the sections here will just be walled off. So if the resources are taken, I think it weakens the keep, making it easier to take them. I read that up. I read up on that. That, or I think it's to do with an upgrade, because you can upgrade keeps to have extra stuff. Yeah, I never knew that. Something you learn. One thing new that you learn every day. So yeah, just make sure you look for these. Sometimes you'll go to a keep and there'll just be nothing to repair. I think there's like a mechanic where after a certain amount of... Oh, Nichols is under attack. After a certain amount of time, the everything will just like... It'll hit like a time tick and it'll just repair everything automatically. So that's why I say it's best to check places that are like closer to the front line, these sorts of places, as opposed to these places, which usually, because they've been held for so long by your faction, it usually just means that everything will be repaired at that point. So yeah, not usually successful looking at those places, but you know, sometimes you might get lucky. Oh wow, I spoke too soon. Only a little bit, yeah, right. So you see what I mean. Just look for those crane tools, you'll be pretty good. As I said before, that's going to be most of the time you're going to be spending doing this one, just looking for a wall to repair. But like, just a single wall being slightly damaged is all you need to complete this. Like, the amount of stuff that you can repair on a keep that's damaged is like... The amount you need to repair is like a tiny drop of water in this like massive repair water bucket that you can usually use on some of these keeps that need to be attacked. Just do keep in mind, every now and then you might rock up to a keep and there's just like a couple of enemy players running along the walls. It tends to happen now more than it used to, just because players can be so fucking unkillable. But yeah, usually if that's the case, just either try and repair the wall before you get killed by them, or just go somewhere else. Usually that's the best course of action. Alright, cool. So, oh god, what's going on with my voice? So next we've got 2 stages in the Infinite Archive with a partner. This is... Alright, so there's 2 ways you can go through this, right? You can go just find a player on the street. The good thing about this is everybody's got access to this. It's a base game thing. Even though it's in the Necrom DLC zone, you can just travel to this from Wayshrine like as soon as you create a character. So everybody's got access to this. You don't need DLCs, like you don't need to pay for DLC to own this. So yeah, you can just pick any random from the street and just do it. Or you can get a companion, which is going to be probably more reliable just because you don't have to look around for a player who hasn't done this yet. But just understand, a player, like even a new player, is probably going to be more competent than a typical companion, because companions in this game are fucking stupid. They stand in all the red shit. Yeah, some players do too, but pretty much all companions will be kind of shit. So just understand that use your companions for the sake of doing this endeavor. Don't really rely on them to do any more than just hold the enemy off for a while. So I'll just use Miri here. That warning, don't worry about that. It's just saying that your leaderboard score will be a duo score, not a solo score. It won't matter because you're just doing 2 stages. 2 stages only takes a few minutes. That's why I suggest getting a companion just to get through your 2 stages. Your companions won't die in this sort of place if you set them up as a tank or a healer, but as a damage dealer they might. Sometimes I find that they do. But yeah, it's like really simple stuff, so yeah, usually your companion will be fine. But yeah, don't really rely on them to do anything more than just help you slightly. So Infinite Archive's pretty interesting. It's just like completely random enemies that you'll basically copy-pasted from all sorts of content. So if you do a lot of dungeons, you'll probably recognize some of the enemies here. Maybe not. And at the last part of a stage, you'll get these bigger enemies. They're a little bit tougher. Usually I focus the other enemies though, because they're the ones that... it depends though. Some of them, it's good to focus other enemies. Like those big Khajiit swordboard ones. Best to focus other enemies if you can, because they just reflect damage back at you. But everything else is... Yeah, it just depends. Like there's like a crow tier 1 enemy that I fucking hate dealing with. I kill them first. Yeah, some enemies I deal with last. So this companion I've got is healing. So I find companions, if you use them, better as a healer and a tank. Ah, here we go. Here's the fucking crow thing. Yeah, I kill these things as soon as I possibly can. They do a lot of annoying shit. Okay, good. Get that fucker out of here. You can use your ultimates because you're not doing anything else in Infinite Archive. So yeah, super fast to do this one. But it's just, again, just like the repairing one, most of the time you're going to be spending is either getting a companion or getting a player. So yeah, companions, there's 8 in total. 6 of them are related to DLCs. So Miri and Bastion are Blackwood. If you've got that DLC, you can get them. Ember and Isabel are High Isle. Azandar and Sharpest Knight are Necrom. And then Tenlorin and Zerethar are from the Crown Store. If you've got ESO Plus, you'll be able to get these guys by default. So definitely have a look if you do have ESO Plus. If you don't have ESO Plus and you don't have any of these DLCs, you got no chance. I don't think it's worth it paying 1,500 crowns for these guys, or 1,000 crowns for these guys just to do a 15th Steel Endeavor. But yeah, you do you. So I'll talk last now about the killing people one. I would suggest you turn off Prevent Attacking Innocents if you've got that on, because it will be hard for you if you're not familiar with killing people to understand what is classed as people. So citizens of Tamriel. So anyone with these white outlines is considered people. So killing these civilians here is what counts for this. So if you just attack someone, it's going to give you a bounty. It's going to give you a pretty fucking crazy bounty. So just going out and killing a bunch of people willy-nilly is definitely the fastest way you're going to be able to do this one, but it is a very easy way to get yourself a bounty that's going to take a while to get rid of. Now, even if you kill 7 people and you get a crazy bounty, you can probably leave it for like overnight. Just go to bed, have a sleep, wake up the next morning, and it'll probably be gone. But if you want to do this and then continue on doing stuff, it's not going to be very practical. So I'll just go through some methods that you can use to kill stuff without getting a bounty, because I imagine that's going to be quite valuable for a lot of people. Alright, so there's 2 methods in this game to murder people without getting a bounty. And both of those methods include, like, basically require you to insta-kill people away from other people. So I was trying to find some people to test this on. The biggest problem you're going to have with this one is anyone that has those white outlines, you are competing with other players to kill them. So unlike all these ones here, which kind of aren't, you're not impacted by. I mean, this one here, you might need people to do it, but you don't. If you've got a companion, you can do it, and these ones don't require anybody to do them. Whereas this one here, it's completely impacted by other people. So I don't like doing this one too much. But what you want to look for is basically anyone that's on their own. So there's a bunch of people in Oridon. I will link in the description. I've got an Imgur post of all the locations of people that are on their own that you might be able to kill. I'll see if this person's got the same idea. Lol. So, oh yeah, here we go. So there are 2 ways to kill people. I'll explain the other stuff later. So I've got so here we go. So first one is feeding. So you can use Vampirism feeding, which you unlock as soon as you unlock the Vampirism skill line. This one here. You can insta-kill people by feeding and increase your Vampirism stage. That is a way to kill people instantly without getting a bounty, provided that nobody sees you do it. So that is one way. The other way is going to be... Oh, you can't kill this guy. I didn't know that. Blade of Woe. Blade of Woe does the same thing. It's just a DLC-related one, so it's pay-gated, and you don't need Vampirism for it. So it's also short range. So you need to be quite close to people in order to kill them with the Blade of Woe. Pretty much that close. A little bit further away. Maybe I'd say here is the max range which you can do it. So yeah, either of those. Now, in order to unlock Vampirism, you need to get someone to bite you. The best place to go for... I think the best place to go for Vampirism bites is here, in Bankrai. Take the boat train from Glenumbra to Daggerfall. Oh, sorry, to Bankrai here. You rock up this one. Go down here, get this way shrine, and you've got easy access to the shrine here. Because there's nothing in the way. I know a lot of people are like, oh, the rift's the best one, but getting from here to the shrine over here, there's fucking enemies all over the place over here. I just prefer Bankrai because it's just easy to get to. And don't even get me started with Reef as much. It's not even anywhere near as close as it is in Bankrai. Bankrai is just the best one, I think. So hang around there. Maybe ask in zone for people to give you a bite. Ask friends, ask people in guilds. Guilds especially usually have a couple of people who provide vampire bites. So this is a base game option. Just requires you to do a little quest going through the vampire bite in order to unlock vampirism. You sort of, it shows you how to use the vampire skill line. Not that I use much of it. But yeah, only takes a few minutes. Very easy quest to do. And then you unlock the vampire skill line. You'll start at level 1, and at level 1 you unlock feed. So that's all you need. What was I going to say? There's one more thing I was going to point out. Oh, yeah. The Crown Store vampire stuff. I would never, on any circumstance, recommend anything to do with the Crown Store vampire stuff. $15 for fucking vampirism when you can just go get it for free from a player is fucking ridiculous. And especially the cure. 800 crowns is fucked. Like, you spend like 600 gold to get the cure, and you see that, like, you can find the people to do it in like pretty much every major, like, Mages Guild hall. It's just utterly ridiculous that they even, like, I hope that the marketing director who decided to do this, not the devs who would have had no fucking choice to add this, would have been some dickhead in the top of the marketing fucking strategy team who decided, yeah, let's fucking sell this for $8. That sounds like a great idea. Fuck you. Wow, that lightning bolt. What a perfect timing. Alright, so now let's talk about more fucking spending of crowns on fucking overpriced shit. So we've got the with the Dark Brotherhood skill line, you get Blade of Woe, same thing, you get it very early. All you have to do is basically just start the quest line in Gold Coast here. So if you go to the Zone Guide, you just have to complete Voices in the Dark to unlock the Blade of Woe. But I do suggest getting to a Lesson in Silence and unlocking the Black Sacraments, because Black Sacraments gives you a way to get instant, like killing people in an instance area. That is great for like not having to deal with players like killing the people you're trying to kill for this, because in Black Sacraments you can't see other players, so all the people in there are right for you to pick alone. So this is where you find the Black Sacraments once you unlock them. There is also the spree quest here which you can get, which both of these level up the Dark Brotherhood skill line, which I'll explain after. I think it's worth talking about that. But yeah, unlocking Black Sacraments is good, and you just talk. You just accept the quest by talking to this guy, and then you get once you exhaust the dialogue, basically you get teleported into a Black Sacrament, and there'll be tons of people that you can kill with the Blade of Woe or Vampirism, and they're usually on their own. Not always, but usually. So go through this door. If you get spotted by anybody, you will get a bounty. It's unavoidable. So there's 2 people here, so you will get a bounty if you kill one of those. You can wait to see if they move around. I'm pretty sure there's a sentry here. So these sentries, they don't count as people. Sounds kind of racist, but these they're actually enemies, like they're hostile NPCs, so they don't count as citizens of Tamriel, because they're the ones with the white outlines. So keep that in mind. So you can kill these guys if you want, but they won't count. So it's not really worth it bothering. They don't give you a bounty, which is weird. Only the ones with the white outlines give you a bounty, which is bizarre. Alright, so wait for this person to turn around, see if we can... Oh, nice. Alright, so as you can see here, just killing the Vampirism, that counts. There is another person here. I fucking struggle to kill this person without them spotting me, though. Yeah, I might just try and give that a miss. Can you get around? No, you can't get around there. Oh god. No? Oh, here we go. This might work. Yep. Beautiful. Okay, so that's 2. It's not as straightforward as, like, killing some people in Tamriel. Oh god. Great. Yeah, so see, as soon as you get spotted by them, you get a bounty. So, just be careful. But yeah, you can do it that way, and you'll probably get a much lower bounty from this than you would just killing, like, just going out and attacking people out in the open. And then as soon as you're done, instead of just walking all the way back, what you can do is you can just get the quest here, Sacrament, Cyrodiil Den, abandon it, and you just get sent back out to the Dark Brotherhood Sanctuary. And if there's just like no good other people that you don't want to bother with, you can repeat the quest, because it'll just reset all the people. So if there's a couple of good spots to kill people but nothing else, you can just do that over and over. But yeah, I still think this is the worst option compared to these ones here, which is so much faster. Especially like this one here, as I was saying at the start. Like, comparing these two is just utterly ridiculous. Alright, so the last thing I want to talk about is the Dark Brotherhood passive. It is worth it getting this skill line up, I think, to 7, personally. It's a bit biased, but I think Shadow Rider is like the only important thing about this whole skill line. Being able to reduce the radius of TLDR, what this actually does is when you get too close to an enemy and they aggro while you're on a mount, you have to get really close to them to actually aggro to you, much closer. And what it actually does, though, the part that people don't understand about this is if you are fast, like if your mount's fast, you can just run past an enemy, touch them, and sometimes you can do that with this passive without them actually aggroing. It's crazy what you can actually do with this thing. I'll see if I can show you, because yeah, this is personally one of my favorite passives in the game. I think this is like the only real thing I value from the Dark Brotherhood, the entire DLC. Yeah, this Minotaur, right? So he didn't aggro from that. Like you can get so close to this dude without him actually aggroing. It's fucking ridiculous. See, like I basically had to touch him for him to aggro. And from this point, it's a pain in the ass because now you have to wait the whole time to get away from them. But like, you can get so close to stuff without it actually aggroing. You see that as well? So, yeah, I love this passive myself. Everything else about this entire DLC, I think I don't even like look at. But yeah, definitely this. I love this thing. So, yeah, that's all I really want to say about that. So if you can get Dark Brotherhood up a fair bit, it takes a while. But it's definitely worth it for Shadow Rider. After that, I don't really give a shit. Okay, if you got any questions about any of this stuff, as always, just let me know. Yeah, that's all the endeavors done. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for your support as always. I'll see you all next time. And yeah, take care of yourselves.